Okay, so I think we're all rolling now. It took me a little while to get everything together for this stream. Some days it's more work than others to get these things working. Um, but yeah, I'm live. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I guess I'm gonna quickly post links on a couple of social sites. But let's see. It's been a little while since I've kind of done the video stuff. I've just been super overwhelmed with life and new career and stuff. So I just decided to kind of prioritize the productive hobby stuff rather than the sort of bonus extra hobby stuff. So I realized that like if I start doing semi-regular live streams, that will give me the opportunity to do more, sort of video content without having to commit to like all the video editing that goes on, that would be eating out of my hobby time, essentially. And so I can at least show off projects that I'm working on. So on Sunday nights, as my plan, I'm gonna do a a live broadcast, and then sorry, I'm trying to get this posted to social media. So, but my goal is to be able to do stuff like interviews on here. Maybe sometimes show off a game that I'm playing. I would love to do more delving back into Rogue Trader. I would love to do some more Necromunda Hired Gun. Space Marine 2 just came out. There's all kinds of games that are worth playing. I've been playing an ungodly amount of Don't Starve with my family, who got really into it over the summer, which is, it's kind of if you're familiar with it, it's a very simple seeming but deep game where you're kind of fighting for survival in a sort of fantasy nightmare realm, but you know I play that on the Switch, so I'd have to probably switch to doing it on PC or computer in order to, or whatever this thing's called, Mac, in order to do it. But all right, posting to live to social media. All right. Well, my kill team or my link is set up now, so hopefully other people will get a chance to see it. And in the meanwhile, I am going to go ahead and get started talking about my John, I just saw your message. I actually have had these for about a decade, but I did get them after they went out of production. I came across them on a it was a comic shop that was briefly open near my house, and they went out of business, perhaps unsurprisingly, and as a result, I can't remember the name, but regardless, it was a really cool little comic shop that was sort of in a spot that was like this kind of like almost like basement of a store, and it was a very small space, and they happened to have a little glass case that had a few Warhammer models in it. And I was walking by one day, and I saw Adeptus Arbites, and I was like, "Oh, yes, no, I need those, please." Uh, and so I bought them. I think they were probably like. They were probably half what you would pay on eBay at the time. Uh, so they weren't that expensive. And then I padded them out with some of the Space Marine Scouts, the metal ones. So, like, this body, for example, is a Space Marine Scout. It just so happens that they're very similar size and proportions, and the similar kind of heft to the armor, carapace armor for both of them, and I think that they work well for it. I need to go over and fix their knees. For this one, I already did the knees long time ago. So I wanted to kind of go over what I've got here, because there are a bunch of units in the sorry, there's a bunch of units in the codex, or yeah, in the kill team, and I went ahead and did conversions that will represent all of these different minis, so that I kind of had the option to run them as the kill team. Presumably, excuse me. Presumably, I will be using the rest of my minis for goodness gracious. I'm trying to find all of the pictures from the Warhammer community site, and one of them came through real weird. Anyway, so I want to represent all the different like specialties or whatever, and then I can use these guys. I tend to use them for my enforcers for Necromunda as well, but I have a whole bunch of other models that I've already done some kit bashing on, because they're all plastic scout bodies. But I wanted this squad to be all metal, with one exception, which is the Vox Aquila, whatever it's called. But I'm gonna go through and kind of go down each one of these. So first we have the Proctor Exactant, which is the there we go. First we have the Proctor Exactant, which is the basic basic model, like the boss from the original set. So that one's an easy one. All right, so here we go. All right, so that's that guy. no conversion needed really. You know, you get essentially the exact same guy. The only difference is his little like floaty loudspeaker thing, which I made one that kind of fits my style, using a shoulder pad, an Aquila like gargoyle, a bit of a servo skull, and this bit which I took off of something I think looks kind of like a speaker, and I did some work to fill in back here, and he is going to be my Vox Aquila, whatever that thing is called. So those two, and that was no real work needed for him because he already comes with the the sort of aesthetic that was meant to be sort of imitated here. Next up, we have the grenade launcher guy. So obviously the classic Arbite grenade launcher will fill that role. Good enough. All right. Now the medic. So as it so happens, I need to get him glued together. I had made this. This is the first Arbite that I made. I had originally given him a shock maul and this head off of one of the the like old shock troopers, those like plastic steel coats that were like, or Steel Legion, that were like made by some third party that were just absolute, like the worst quality plastic, the worst mold lines, like the sculpts were just not great, but they had like a few bits that were really useful, and it was the only place where I could get affordable infantry when I first started converting stuff. So a lot of my first conversions used parts from those models, which I am not ashamed to say, because like I was trying to get by in a hobby while in grad school, spending as little money as possible, because sometimes that's how it's got to be. So anyhow, I have a medical bag off of a Tempestus Scion, which works well for this. And then for his other arm, what was his other arm supposed to be? I think it's this baton. But I must have misplaced the arm portion that was going to fill in, because need that. Gotta have an arm. Huh. Actually don't know what arm that was supposed to be. That's so funny. I put all this effort into prepping all the conversions last night, but I must have had one bit of oversight, or, come to think of it, the rest of the arm... Oh wait, no. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong model. He has the arm. I forgot. This one has his lower portion of his arm right here. So I just have to put this baton onto him. So yeah, you're getting kind of a window into the process. I was working on this last night, my original goal was to have everything done tonight before the stream and primed, and like I was up till like 1 last night putting together all the conversions, and some of the paint stripping just wasn't it wasn't going quickly. I'll put it that way. It required a lot of manual intervention. So I wound up just sort of stopping with a few pieces left to finish, which was, not a big deal. And I figured I could just work through them while I'm on stream. So yeah, I'm planning on having guests on for future streams, other folks who either want a hobby or talk various things. This would be a good outlet to kind of go over my feelings on some of the new stuff to come out, talk about Nova Open, which was an awesome weekend of gameplay once again. Every year it fills me with absolute intense hobby drive. I'm planning on using this platform to document, at least in part, painting some entries for Capital Palette, which I know I said last year I really wanted to do, but just haven't really had the get up and go to get it done so far, and it seems silly not to enter the painting contest at the con I do events for. So might as well. There we go. All right. So as I was saying, this guy with the medical case is going to be the arbiter with the meds. I am in terms of what color scheme I'm doing, I'm going to do a classic black. I had originally painted these guys white. I have kind of a thing for cops in white uniforms. This is the color scheme that they were before, and I liked it a lot. And in fact, I kind of did a riff on it for my Gene Stealer cult enforcers, updating it a little bit, going for orange instead of gold, and then I went for green on cloth and stuff. Regardless, I like the black as like a kind of tribute to their origins. Since I'm essentially doing this as a tribute to the old models, I figured doing the correct color scheme is the way to go for it. So that's the plan. But I do like the dread look. I think the dread look is good. So I'm not against it, certainly. All right, let's see. All right, so next we have the, I think, Castigator is what they're called, and they're just ornery. They're just downright unpleasant gentlemen, and I went ahead and made one. So he is also holding some manacles, and he's got a power maul or shock maul, and I went ahead and gave him more chains down here and a big ol' honkin' shotgun for when he needs to go full shoddy. So that's my version of the Castigator. I might swap him down to a slightly smaller gun if I can find a holstered shotgun that's more appropriate in size, or 3D print it. But for now, that's his look. Alright, so and I went ahead and really tried to do these as authentically as possible. So I'm trying to use as much original parts as possible. So I went ahead and took this guy, one of the Fnatic era enforcers. The Arbites got kind of rebadged as enforcers for Necromunda in its second edition in like 2001 or 2002, whenever that was. They have a winged skull instead of a winged fist that the Arbites original models have. So that's something. I don't, that I'm fine with. I'm fine with both. So I went ahead and I think actually I might need to do a little bit more green stuff work on this one here, connecting the sight to the shotgun better. But I went ahead and took one of the shotguns from the model. I tossed a big ol' mag from one of the stern guard bolters onto the bottom. I had to kind of file it down to get it to fit properly in the space, and filed the hand down a little bit. And then also a scope off of one of those stern guard bolters. And then I used some rod to make the sort of extended barrel. And I'm really proud of how it turned out, because I think that it maintains the old aesthetic very, very authentically, while also featuring the proper kind of weapon in terms of the look of the weapon for the marksman. Is he the marksman, or is he? I think he's the marksman. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the marksman's the one with the pistol. Regardless, the shotgun sniper, which is a weird it's a weird thing to have in an army, a shotgun sniper. But what can you do? Let's see. So next up is your bog standard dude. I've got 5 of the shotgun guys. Got 4 who are from the classic 4 from the classic Arbites first wave, which I recently learned was just like the grenade launcher, the boss dude, the basic shotgun, and the bolter. Those were the only models released in that entire gang at the time, which is wild. And also, they just were very much like an arbitrator gang. And then this was the one from the Fnatic. So these guys had separate pieces for their weapons and hands. What else we got? Alright, so we've got the pistol dude. I took this champion model and made him my pistol dude. I used the scoped pistol off of the Enforcer kit. I think that it works pretty darn well, all things considered. And then so for the Hound, I don't have the Hound model yet. I have made arrangements with a person who had some available, and I should be kind of receiving that in the next short a while. The bases are I have like a file that's like Zone Mortalis bases that I've just like tossed random Zone Mortalis base files into, so I don't actually know who made it, but it is one of many that I found on Thingiverse. And it's like it's very, you know, standard. I only have like 3 of them where I've cut the magnet hole in the bottom. Um, so I'm kind of waiting on getting around to like doing the rest of them with magnet holes. So this is the repeat of the same 3 pieces over and over again. But like it's the Zomertalis 4 tiles. Who cares? 3 repeats is fine across 20 models. It's not that big of a deal. Anyway, so I've got the Hound coming. Oh, and I had to upsize them because these were 25 millimeter, but the Arbites are on 28.5 millimeter bases now. So I went ahead and enlarged them in width, but not height. So they are a little bit bigger, except for the ones used for the Vox Aquila and the one that I'll use for the Hound. Anyway, so I will have a Hound incoming soon. I'm excited because I've been wanting one for a long time from that range. There is this chap who's like the comms guy, and so I made one of him. This is a scout. The head is off of one of the Skitarii kits. I added a piece of a old Kasserkin backpack that I lopped off, which I'm trying to keep these authentic to the kind of era, so not using too many newish bits. And then this arm, like Eagle Aquila shoulder pad thing, it was a stern guard shoulder pad that I took a cast of and then used to make these kind of Judge Dredd over the top shoulder pads. Back when I didn't even have these medals, it was just some metal scouts that I had gotten secondhand that I was kind of adapting to make into Arbites, because again I was early in my conversion game, and so I need to. When I was stripping these guys, the knee pads came off, so I'm gonna have to green stuff those on. So that's something I'll probably do tonight. Next up, we have the Leash Master. I gotta find the model, a picture of his model, because he wasn't on the site preview. Did I click through? All right. Good. All right. So we have the Leash Master here. I did my Leash Master. I used the cigar hand from the Goliath kit. Presumably he's smoking a stogie, and he's got the leash in hand. And I threw old 3D printed like shotgun in a sling on his backpack, and bada bing, bada boom, we got us our Leash Master. I think he turned out pretty well, considering the kind of weird thing of like having a guy holding a leash. Like I think there's a couple Escher models that have that, but that's about all that comes to mind for what I could otherwise use for conversion bits. But I used it's a Chaos Cultist hand that used to be holding a flail, but I replaced the flail with the braided cord from like I want to say one of the Korn guys from like the Age of Sigmar starter set from like 9 years ago. Jesus, 9 years. You ever feel time slowly creep up on you, stab you in the back? That just happened to me. Age of Sigmar, the new war game that is about to be a decade old. let's see. Arbites. There's one more that is not coming. I haven't figured out the name. Is it the... No, the Revelatum is the one who's got the pistol. Is it this... Vigilant? No. No, I don't think it's the Vigilant. I did the boxing fire. Maybe it is the Vigilant. No, Vigilant is the standard shotgun guy. Subductor is the guys with the shields. The Revelatum, yeah, I think it is the Revelatum. No, that's the scoped guy. Marksman is the one who's got the sniper shotgun. Malicator. That's the one I'm thinking of. Malicator. Alright. And hop over here. Pull up this Malicator photo. Alright. So my version of the Malicator is to use this champion from, once again, from the Fanatic second edition of Arbites. He already had the baton out, and he had what was either an auto, I guess it was an auto pistol, but I went ahead and turned it into this kind of sample extractor thing, and then since I didn't have a free hand to put a device into, I went ahead and added like a little pouch here. Like he has a little pad inside of his pouch. So that gives me most of the guys. Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw this Chirurgeon arm onto the medic guy just to give him a little bit more of a imposing look. And then I've got, this is one of the bolter Arbites. I chopped his bolter up so that I can make it into a web gun. So I've got this bit off of one of the Death Guard. I think it's a flamer, but it has the right kind of nozzle for the look of the. Okay. So the tiny little hose broke, and I think it just makes more sense to kind of shave it off and disconnect the hose part altogether from, because like presumably we don't need a hose going to the barrel of our gun since it's already like the system that's pressurized is, you know, around front, or it goes through the barrel area, like presumably. But yeah, the original Arbites range did not have a web gun, and while I could have taken one of the Fanatic bodies and given him a web gun, I had a bunch of the bolter guys, and the bolter is no longer an option for them, and I had limited Fanatic guys to use for my conversions. So I went ahead and decided to do a web gun converted from a bolt gun, uh, which is, it's a little blasphemous cutting up a old classic model, but the basic bolter Arbites are not especially rare. Like I said, I have like 4 more of them. So I don't, whatever. I just don't feel bad about that. I haven't done anything here that seriously compromises any of the old Arbites models. The biggest actual change to an Arbites model is the custom shotgun, and that guy, the shotgun, the only thing I did was cut the very tip barrel off, which could easily be resculpted. So that could be returned back to stock with minimal effort. I guess I converted this guy, but because it's the old Fanatic one, all I did that was serious here is cut this forearm off, which could easily be fixed, and that's it. Otherwise, it's all just stuff that's glued on in spots where I would have otherwise glued in other stuff. So yeah, I'm kind of, I get to have my cake and eat it too by doing most of my conversions from Scouts, because the old metal Scouts are not rare, and they're much more recent. All right, so back to our little web gun. So I've got a barrel. I've got the first tank, and then I was thinking I would use a canister bit. I think this is a Tau grenade, maybe, to kind of make the rest. And so I'm putting the little canisters on, which kind of will mimic the aesthetic of the web gun with its web canisters. And I'll kind of make it look bulkier. Because it's a Rogue Trader era weapon. It should have some jank. So you can tell that I thought of this without fully testing everything, and the fact that I'm messing with stuff and knocking pieces off. When I've planned my conversion, it doesn't get this weird. Alright, I might have to drop this barrel and just go with these canisters, which I think is actually just fine. It looks like a web gun to me. I have a little web pistol here. I could add like a little tube going underneath. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that. The thing is that it's always possible to add something and have it subtract from the final model. is always my fear. When I've got something that feels close, I don't want to overdo it. Which is a funny thing for me to say because my motto is anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Which is not at all me like justifying my own silly over the top ideas. It's just general life advice. It's not self-serving at all. Alright, so that's my web gun guy. There's of course the subductor. Pull up a picture of him in a second. Alright, so there's the subductor, which is the classic staff and shield dude. Obviously, this is another one of my scout conversions. I should have a official of the baton shield guys coming along with the Cyber Mastiff. So that will round out the rest of the squad. That will help that guy finish curing. But I also have these two who I was also converting into subductors. So I'm going to work on that now. Right quick. So... kind of debating swapping the top of this off and instead putting on the kind of modern enforcer one, but I don't know, I kind of like the simplicity of an old metal rod setup. It kind of it fits with my desire to kind of stick to the roots of these minis. At least that's how I kind of see it. I don't know, whatever. So I guess I'm gonna finish out working through these because that's the plan. And I might go live another day this week and work on when I do some first painting on these guys. So tonight I'm going to get as much of the actual conversion work done as possible. And the next time I stream, I'll be painting them. If I have to finish other conversion work, I will do that off stream because I would rather get to the next stage with these guys. So another Mechanicus helmet. I think I need to trim this guy's arm back a little bit. So that the new bit can fit properly. Unlike the other scout conversions, these guys are scouts that had been in my bits box until this guy is. He'd been in my bits box until yesterday as a scout. But I already have like 2 or 3 squads of metal scouts in my my Mantis Warriors, which is like my old Rogue Trader demi company. But so because of that, I had like a few left over because I used all metal scouts for my Rogue Trader style force. It's not actually all Rogue Trader stuff. A bunch of the minis are from what's it called? Name is escaping me at the moment. Friends of the show, who whose name I can't remember at this exact moment because I'm in the middle of trying to get a magnet out of an arm. Well, whatever. They're old Hammer style Space Marines of a female variety. And they're great stuff. Anyway. So I've got... There we go. This arm right here. These parts were originally kit bashed onto plastic Scout. At least I made this baton last night, but the like shields were. And I wanted this to be all metals, so I stripped the arms off to use for making the rest of these metal scouts into subductors, because this project is like, obviously it's meant to be like a love letter to the old models. It's not I'm not necessarily planning on taking it anywhere in terms of like playing at any events, because that would be more kill team than I necessarily want to play. But it does give me a kill team, like from the most recent season. I guess I also had the guard and not the guard, the Necrons and the Kroot. So there's that. So we are close on having kind of all the options. I have 3 of the subductors that are conversions, and then my 4th will be the one that's coming in the mail. The Cyber Mastiff is also coming with in the mail, and then for my heavy stubber guy, I have a heavy stubber guy that I got on eBay coming. So basically enough to kind of to round out all of the options. So I've got 5 of the basic shotgun guys. I've got all of the various specialty guys. And I've got the the marker for the Aquila thing, Vox thing, and I've got 4 subductors and 5 of the basic guys with the regular shotguns, and that adds up to I think like 19 models. So presumably transported by 2 Tauroxes, or Taurox Primes. Darn it. Alright. So I'm excited to get all of them together, especially with the heavy stubber coming, and with the mastiff coming. It like really makes this the full kind of authentic experience, to the extent possible. Like literally the only thing that could be more authentic would be if I got one more of the like modular enforcer like medals, and found like a classic metal web gun, and kind of swap that in. But I don't even know kind of what the kit options for web guns even was in terms of where you could find one. So it's entirely possible that that's just not something that exists out there. So it is what it is, I guess. The only downside of Nova is that I haven't fully unpacked my hobby stuff, so my accelerant is somewhere in a box on the other side of the room, and I don't really want to go looking for it. So that arm will go there, that shield will go on that arm, and I guess I just wanted to do the little fun time appendage for the medical dude. Alright. So, obviously this makes this guy a little bit more extreme than the version in the kill team. But I'm going ahead and taking liberties because I found this bit and I thought that little bit of Fabius Biles backpack would be perfect. And I have no reason to use it for this build, but I kind of want to. Okay. Let's see. Boom. And this guy just keeps falling over, and his head keeps popping off. Alright, so this is one where I'm going to want to fill in a sculpted arm, because it's not going to fit the space provided. So I went ahead and slid a bit of glue on, and we're kind of gluing it at 2 touch points, where then I can come in and sculpt the upper arm and elbow. And this will just be secured at the 2 touch points that I glued it. Once it cures, I'm like literally, I just need to go get my darn accelerant at this point, because it's just taking too long. Alright, well, I can't seem to find it, so I'm going to go ahead and just finish this little bit of glue, and I'm going to go to bed, and I'll find it tomorrow, because I get to bed early these days and get up early. Just a new lifestyle for me. Not all the way new. I've done it before. But I'm trying to do something sustainable. So like go to bed at 10 and get up at 5, as opposed to going to bed at 1 and get up at 6. Like that was not good for me. So I've been trying to kind of get myself to follow some basic minimums for like sleep. I do kill teams sometimes, So in this case, I have the old metal Arbites, and I'm doing kill team like models with them. Um, I also have like the crew kill team, and at some point I'm gonna do the Necron kill team. I really want to get the Vespids. I like them a lot. But I primarily do Necromunda, but I also do kill team. I just don't have as much kill team stuff, which is to say I have like, I don't know, 20 kill teams as opposed to like the uncountable number of Necromunda gangs I have. uh, Kill team's fun. I really I like skirmish games personally, but yeah. So uh, I have the old metal Arbites, and I really wanted to get them into kind of kill team shape in terms of all of the specialties and everything. So I've been going through and showing how I did the conversion for each one. Um, but I am I'm still just getting the conversions finished, and from there I'm going to uh, do like get these guys painted. So I'll probably do a painting video later this week. Um, that said, my kill team knowledge is fairly limited in the current edition, simply because I just haven't had that much time to play it. Uh, I played it a little bit when it first came out. The kind of updated rules that came with the Krieg and whatnot. Um, this was a mistake. I tried to go a bridge too far. So, with that, I have all of my all of my existing models, most of the way done. I still need to do some knee pads. Out of green stuff. But God damn it. I had it. It was fine. All I had to do was just leave it. But instead I picked it up and I knocked the head off and I knocked the shield off again. Yes, I definitely. If I just hadn't misplaced my my accelerant, this would be a much less exhausting process. Um, but anyway, so yeah, so I've got 3 more models in the post, so to speak, or at least in the pipeline on their way to me, that will finish out the kill team with all the kind of main choices. So I've got let's see. 1, 2, 3, 7, 10, 13, 16, 18. So it's 21 models, I guess, total. Because we've got the we've got 22 if you count the like Vox Aquila thing. Because I have 5 of the basic shotgun guys. I got the leader. I've got all the different specialties. I have 2 of the gunners now, and the third one is on the way. The hound is on the way, and I have 3 of the 4 shield guys, and the 4th is on the way. So yeah, so that kind of puts me at I think 21 minis for the whole like everything, and then I just get to paint them up, which is the fun part. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I'm just gonna leave the models I have. I was so close. I was so close to just being able to walk away. And of course this is my own fault for doing this without the proper tools. Super glue is tough. I have not spoken in like several minutes because I'm just so over this. Not every single thing that you start doing is worth finishing at a time. Sometimes I just can't help myself. Like this is easily a case where just like set it in a position where it will glue properly, come back later, set it up to glue onto the base. Don't try to do both at the same time. Is the right approach. And I'm willing to admit that and still do it wrong. Because it's just the kind of person I am. Once I start something, I don't like to leave it unfinished. It's a pet peeve. Alright, I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully everything glues properly and doesn't fall off in the night. And I'll post pics tomorrow. Peace.